If you feel that your family cannot take on that child, do not be afraid to say no just because you want a child in your house. What's up, guys? I'm so excited about your journey. You have made it to Foster Care 101 Class 4 Getting Licensed. This is the fun part. Listen, if you're new here, my name is Barabbas, and on this channel, we talk about a lot of things concerning foster care and adoption. This is Class 4. In Class 3, we talked about the home study. But now, we're going to talk about getting licensed. Today, we're talking about something that is talked about a lot. Maybe you've been thinking about it. Maybe you feel called to it, but you don't know where to start. And I get it. My wife and I were there as well. Because at first, it can feel confusing and overwhelming. But today, I'm going to break it all the way down for you. We're going to talk about the different types of agencies, what the licensing process looks like step by step, and what you can expect once you're approved. And I'm going to speak on this from a faith-based perspective because it's more than a process. It's a calling on your life. Listen, before we even get into the paperwork and the steps, let's talk about the heart behind foster care. Again, foster care is not just taking kids into your home. These are children who have gone through real situations. They've experienced real trauma. They've been removed from their homes. They need stability and patience and love. And one thing that you have to understand is this: the goal of foster care is reunification for them to go back to their parents. That means in most cases, the goal is for the child to go back to their home, the biological home, once it's safe. So when you foster, you're not just helping a child. You're stepping into a situation that might be broken and becoming part of the healing process. From a faith perspective, this matters. Because this is what it looks like to love people where they are. This is what it looks like to be the hands and feet of God. Let's talk about something that really confuses a lot of people. There are different types of agencies that you can get licensed through. The first one is going to be the county or the state agency. This means you're working directly with your local child care welfare system. When you go this route, this usually means more directed, connected to placements. There are often more children available, and sometimes placements can happen faster. But if you can also feel more like a system, and sometimes there's less personal support. The second option is private agencies. These are organizations that are contracted by the state. So they follow the same rules, but they usually offer more support. That can look better in communication-wise, more guidance, more help along the way. The trade-off is sometimes placements can be a little bit slower depending on the agency. The third type is this: faith-based agencies. These are private agencies that operate with a Christian foundation. If your goal is to foster with a strong faith-centered approach, this can be a great option. They often provide spiritual encouragement, prayer, support, and a sense of community. But here's the key: remember, no matter what agency you go through, your license has to be approved by the state. So don't stress a lot about picking the perfect one. Focus on choosing the one that gives you the support that you need. Let's talk about the licensing process. Let's walk step by step through the licensing process now. Step 1 is to inquire and orientation. This is where you reach out to the agencies or apply online. They usually have you attend information sessions. In this session, they'll go over the requirements, the expectations, and what foster care really looks like. This is your chance to ask questions and to get clarity about foster care, adoption, and what it looks like. Step 2, the application. You'll fill out paperwork about yourself, about your home, about your family. This is where I always tell people to be honest. You don't have to be perfect. They're not looking for perfect people. They're looking for safe, stable, and willing people, not perfect people. Step 3, you have to go through background checks and fingerprints. This includes criminal background checks, a child abuse registry check. This is all about making sure that the children are in a safe environment and a safe place. Step 4, we've already went through this. You have to go through training, the training classes. This is a big one. You'll go through training that teaches you about the things like trauma, behavior, discipline, and working with biological families. And I want to say this clearly. Fostering is not just about having a big heart. It's about understanding what these children have been through. This training will prepare you for that. Step 5. We already talked about this too in class 3, the home study. Now, I know what it sounds like. It sounds intimidating, but it's really not as scary as it sounds. They'll come through your home, check for safety, check for things like smoke detectors, basic requirements, CO2 monitors, things of that sort. They'll sit you down and talk with you. They want to understand your lifestyle, your support system, and how you plan to care for a child. They're asking one main question. Is it a safe, stable environment for the child? And step 6, the approval. Once you get approved and everything is complete, you'll be officially licensed. And this means you are now open for placements. Yay, you did it! Now, after you get licensed, let's talk about what happens after that. Because this really is something that people don't talk about. You get a call at any time, day or night. Sometimes it's an emergency placement. Sometimes it's planned. They'll give you basic information about the child, like their age, their needs. And when they're asked you, can you take this child? And here's something important that I want to tell you. You can say yes, or you can say no. And listen, if you feel that your family cannot take on that child, do not be afraid to say no just because you want a child in your house. You need to be able to help that child and not just have them in your home just because you want one there. I'm just being real with you, okay? Then the placement will ask you to take them. Here's something important. You are allowed boundaries. When that child comes into your home, that's your home. They need to know the rules. They need to know the boundaries of that home. Now, let me be real with you. Your first placement might not be easy. There might be challenges. There might be behaviors that you don't understand at first. There may be emotional moments. But there will always be moments that remind you why you said yes. Moments of connection, moments of trust, moments where a child feels safe again. If you've been feeling led to foster, don't ignore that. You don't need everything figured out to foster. You don't need a big house. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have a lot of money. You just need to be willing. Because God doesn't call the qualified. He qualifies the called. And every child that comes into your home is an opportunity to show them something different, to show them love, to show them patience, to show them that they matter. If this video helped you, go ahead and like it, subscribe to the channel, and share this with somebody who's been thinking about fostering. And listen, this is class 4. There's 3 other classes before this. Go ahead and look for the playlist. And We'll see you next time in class 5.